Let's make a population graph. The first thing I need to do is I need to label my y-axis and also my x-axis. Then I need to come up with my titles for my x-axis and my y-axis. I'm going to graph time here, and the unit would be years. And then on the y-axis, it would be population, and the unit would actually just be the numbers. And then I need to come up with a scale graph from 0 to 4 years. And I want to maximize the use of my graph paper because I don't want my graph to be too small, because I could easily just make the intervals 1, 2, 3, 4, but then that would limit my graph to just this area. Whereas if I were to spread out my intervals, then I'll have a bigger graph and I'll be able to see the trends a little bit better. So in this scenario here, I'm just going to go by 4s. That way this can be 1 year, 2, 3, 4. Then I need to come up with my y-axis, my scale. And what I need to do is I need to look at the data that I have to graph, and I have to look at the highest value in between the two of them. And the highest value here I see is 15, meaning I need to be able to go from 0 to 15 in just these number of boxes. Each box is going to represent a certain value. And in this case, just for simplicity's sake, I'll go up in intervals of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Then I would come up with a title for my graph, and I know that I'm graphing the rabbit populations and the fox populations over time. So I'm just going to call it rabbit and fox population trends. The next thing I need to do is come up with a legend. I'm going to choose pink for the rabbit. And then I'm going to graph the data for the rabbit. So in 0 years, there were 2 rabbits. So if this is 5, that means this interval here would be 2.5. So put the dot there. And then 1. After 1 year, there were 10 rabbits. 2 years, there were also 10 rabbits. 3 years, in the 3rd year, there were 15 rabbits. Then in the 4th year, there were 10 rabbits. So the population went down a little. Then I'm going to connect my dots because this is a population graph and it's not a line of best fit. Then I need to graph the data for my fox. I'm going to choose green for fox. Then I'm going to plot my data. So 0 years, 0 foxes. Within the 1st year, there were 5 fox. 5 fox probably immigrated into that area. Then after the 2nd year, there were 4 foxes, meaning their population went down. The 3rd year, there were 5 foxes. And then in the 4th year, there were 4 foxes. So it went back down. Then I'm going to connect my dots. And that is how you draw a population graph.